close. I can see a little bit of the ridge on the top there, but I don't care. It's just there for looks. Looks really good. The other side. Okay, now that I got that one on, turned out really good. It's actually more shinier than the other one. I can still see a little waviness, and maybe you can see a little with the light, but I'm okay with that. I scratched it a little bit when I was installing it, but that'll buff out. No big deal. I mean, compared to all the other stuff, this one looks just fine. So then, eventually, once I get that done, and then the front fenders widened out, I'll have a professional go over and just repaint everything and do it correctly. So I got this one all prepped, got it sanded down again. So he's ready to be painted. So I got that little big old hump out, or where that Bondo stuck and pulled the paint off. So we're ready to hit this one. I might just, you know what, I'm gonna hit it one more time with another 1500, just right in that area. But it's ready to go. All right, one side down, one more to go. Almost there. Okay, so when you're laying on paint, there's a little technique with spray cans. It's different if you actually have a spray gun. A spray gun, you can actually, because it goes on thicker, and you can control the air and everything, so you can do swipes, a bigger swipe, a little quicker, going back and forth. But with these, got to make sure you can hear that little marble in there. You know, make sure it's mixed up really well. And then when you're laying it on, best thing to do is stay about, I don't know, 6 inches away, and just put it on like that. So you want the first coat just to go on like that, just to get a nice good coverage. Okay, that way you know it's sticking. All right, and just keep working your way around and see how it gets thicker. And so just keep doing that all over and over and over and over again. Now, if you had a big panel like that, yeah, I wouldn't suggest doing, you know, the spray can here. But that's how you'd work a spray can. That way you get a nice smooth finish. So I'm going to finish this up and show you the after. All right, here's halfway through. You can still see the primer coming up through the body. So now, once you kind of get that first layer on, then you can go maybe like an inch closer. But you don't want to get too close, because if you get too close, then you start getting runs and stuff like that. So it's better to stay further away. I try to work the outer edges first, and then try to work the inside after. That way it blends in better for me. But like I said, it's trial and error. What was best for you. So that's halfway through. All right, I'm just gonna keep going around until it's on there really nice. All right, here we go. You can see little imperfections right now just because it's super shiny. A lot of this levels out, just like the other one. I saw a lot of imperfections when you're first spraying it. It will level out a little bit. So then once it levels out, if there's anything huge, but like I said, I'm not a professional. I just want it on there to match kind of the car and to protect people's legs when they're getting in and out. Because that's the last thing I want to do is have somebody's leg burnt or anything like that. And then I saw on one of the forums a guy got out of his Vette, and his polyester sweatpants touched it, and it melted to his exhaust. So this helps prevent all that, you know. And I know my daughter, she likes to wear those like sweatpants, polyester stuff. So, and even though I say always watch your leg, I don't want it to catch on fire and melt, you know. So I got all the spots and everything, so we'll let it sit for the day. But you can kind of see I missed, I don't know if you can see it, but I missed a sanding a little. It's a little wavy right through there, and just a little bit still right there, but I'm not gonna care. Like I said, it's good enough for me because I got the majority of it. And when I get ready to really repaint it, I'll have a professional go over it. But this took, I wasn't keeping track, but this is roughly between the Bondo, the sanding. Mainly it's sanding and trying to get it smooth. You know, 30 to 40 hours for both sides. And, you know, and the paint and everything. So if you just times that by, you know, 100, 120, maybe even higher, it depends what the shop rate is, but, you know, this would have cost $3,000 to $4,000 just to get these painted. So now you kind of know why paint jobs cost so much, especially black, because everything shows through. You know, I don't know if you can, it's too hard to tell with it shiny like this, but to get it nice and smooth, it just takes a ton of man hours. So I'm sure it's going to cost me anywhere from 10 to 15,000 when I actually get to painting it by a professional. Even if I sand it down and then they get the top. Black is the worst because it shows everything, and the prep work is just super important when it comes to black. Now if it was white, you wouldn't see any of this. It'd be perfect. You could get away with it. But the darker the color, the harder it is to cover up your mistakes. So everything has to be perfect. But once again, good enough for me. Like I said, it's just there to help protect. This side turned out really good. I mean, we can't complain, can we? Looks really good, I think. All right, we'll let that dry. Okay, just a personal preference, so I let it sit 30 minutes, and I like to put just one more coat on, you know, because you'll start seeing the paint starting to harden up. So about anywhere from 20, you know, to 30 minutes, you can see it. And then so I like to put one more coat while it's still tacky. It just looked like it needed it. So, but the thing is, once you start painting, you can't mix. Oh, I got spray right here. See, you can't mix different types of paint. So if you had two different brands of spray paint that is, you know, say gloss black, if you had two different types, it won't stick and it will just bubble up. So when you're painting, make sure, you know, you get the exact same paint, because that's the last thing you want to do is have bubbles. And it just looks horrible. That was one of my mistakes I've learned, you know, doing all this, or not this, but in the past. It's because, you know, and then you ended up sanding it all back down with primer, and I got to get this little edge here before. Oops, sorry. So you just get that on there. Yeah. All right, now we're looking good. We got all the insides with the primer stuck, you know, the overspray. So, all right, gonna leave it there. All in all, I'm not gonna lie, to have a metal shop, you know, make these and everything. The hours, it took about, I think he said, I got it written down, but it was almost 60 hours just to build these. I know I'm a little crazy. I could have bought the cheap ones for like 800, $1,000 bucks, but this cost maybe a third of my car to get done. But I want my car to be custom and a little more unique, different. That's why, you know, with the wheel wells and the covers, I think they look way better in real life than maybe what I'm capturing here on video. But yeah, because, you know, when you get out, you know, I don't want legs burning, anything catching on fire. And they did a great job. I set up, and you know, this is even with me doing the what is it, template. So I made the template to how it's going to bolt everything to the car, and that way it just wraps around the pipe itself. A lot of the other side pipe heat shields, they clamp to the pipe itself, and that's the last thing I want to do because it's chrome. It'll scratch up the chrome. I want to try and keep it as nice as possible. I'm driving it, it's going to get dinged and it's going to get scratched, but this prevents a lot of it, and it'll keep the rust, or not the rust, but the clamp, you know, it just keeps the dirt and grime away from it. And with this particular one, it covers up, you know, this section here, so you can kind of see how ugly and gross that is. Let's come over to the other side. See how much cleaner and smooth it looks. It opens up right up to it. So yeah, it just looks so much cleaner. So once again, you can see how it just butts up right against the door well. Compared to this ugly looking thing, like when you get in. And they do have the covers that go on here, but I didn't like them. You know, so I'd have covers that go over that, and then a side pipe clamp. Heat shield. So I think either way I went was a good way to go, and it kind of separates, because the clamps themselves are either chrome. I'm sure you could buy them and paint them, do it that way, but this one just looks like it's part of the body. Looks just way cleaner. So I'm very happy with it. Like I said, it cost me an arm and a leg, but not cheap. That's why when I figured I'll do the Bodywork, save a ton of money until it's ready to actually get painted. So yeah. All right, next step. I am gonna probably, I'm still gonna see how close that, after it dries, how close it will be. But yeah, we're probably gonna take this antenna off, because my stereo is just a media player. I don't want the antenna. It'll look a lot cleaner without it. This car's nothing special, no numbers matching. I mean, it has the 350, but it's gone through. There's a lot of things before I even got it that were changed, so I don't want to keep it original. I already had the wheel wells on the back, which I like. It's a perfect candidate to make a Restomod. Now, if it had the original engine, you know, and all bits and pieces were there, I'd probably just restore it. But we're going for something a little more fun that I can drive and not worry about. You know, we're going to make it a fun little car to hot rod in. All right, that's my update. So, all right. Thanks, guys. I want to get ready for the next section. I'll post something, but till then, thanks, guys.